Good morning, everybody. We are here. We're ready to go. We got a cat on the desk. And, well, gains in the crypto market so far. Ooh, that's a crazy baby. She got my arm. She got my arm. We got Moji first in the chat. Second in the chat. Alien third. Moji, Pudgy, Genji, Old Rounder, Moji, Alien Head, Jason. All of you guys. So glad to have you in here right now. Let's check the market. Let's see what's happening so far today. We have got AMC in the top left-hand side of the screen sitting at $2.88. Are these all-time lows? Where are the all-time lows on AMC at? 238 all-time low on AMC. Man. Guys, I hope you know that's the equivalent of like 20 cent AMC. Think about that. 20 cent AMC. That's wild, dude. Wild. From the 70-something dollars that AMC was at. I cannot, like, dude, Adam Aaron is not as bad as Molinado's CEO, but I'm sure those guys have dinner. $21.60 for GameStop, down 0.32% on the day today. Gonna go back to the daily chart on AMC so you can see it ticking around. Shiba Inu Coin sitting at 1245 points per coin, up 1.88% right now. Bitcoin sitting at $83,321, trying to curl back over a little bit, still up 2.20% on the day today. NASDAQ getting blast-acted once again, sitting 1.50% lower. That's a pretty strong decline, guys. It's a pretty strong decline. And you can see that the last couple of weeks here, last month and a half or so, has been very difficult for the stock market, going from 20,000 all the way down to 17,000. It's a pretty strong decline, man, 15%. AMC 288, GameStop sitting at 2167, Solana $126. All right, not too bad. Finally, a little green line on the screen here, with $120 being very strong support on Solana. Gonna have to wait and see what happens there. Dogecoin sitting at 16.7 cents. Shiba Inu Coin, $12.45. You've got Ethereum sitting at 18.37, curling back over as well. Bitcoin sitting at 83,399. SPY, 552. QQQ, 462. Molinado, all-time low, 10 cents. Wild, dude, wild. You know what? Let me place a bet here. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to see a Molinado reverse split back up to $5-10 per share. And in a couple weeks after that, it will be back down to 10 cents. Sundial sitting at $1.40. Netflix, $9.20. Tesla, $2.51. Man, a 5% decline in Tesla today after recovering from intraday lows at $2.43. These people are wild, man. 3% decline in Amazon, bringing it down to $187. Apple sitting at $2.19, and Soxel down to $15, $14.91. A 7% decline in Soxel after bouncing off 1440 lows this morning. Man, it is a difficult market filled with a bunch of fear. I don't know how some of these guys live their lives. I really don't. I don't know how some of these guys live their lives. They have got to be like such strange people to be around with the amount of fear that they have in their day-to-day. It's crazy. Oh, retracted. Makes me first. I see you first, Moji. I see you first. Yo, Shiba to the moon. Before the 5th, mark my words. Riley Raven. Let's get it. Did you say before April, though? Was it you that said it was before April? Now it's before the 5th? I don't know. I'm hoping we moon, Riley. I absolutely do. Got me some more Bitcoin on the big dip. Very, very nice, Gen G. I like it. And you know what? Gen G is not afraid, okay? Whatever tactic Gen G is deploying right now, whether it be that she doesn't have, her entire life savings invested, therefore she can buy without fear, do that. Whether it be that she truly believes in the long-term success and she's not affected by the short-term volatility. No matter what it is, guys, ignore the fear. I am telling you, it is going to cause you to do dumb things, and you don't want to do dumb things. Just a little, because I have a feeling it might dip more. Dang it, and she's still not scared. Look at that. Gen G is still not afraid, and she's going to have some in case it doesn't dip anymore. Let's see. O'Reilly says, I don't think Shiba Inu Coin is going up soon. I know it is. We're going to have so much money, we're going to need a money counter. Nice, dude. And luckily, my phone tells me how much money I have. It's automatically counted in my crypto. I don't have to go out there and add it all together. It adds it together for me. Love those money counters. That is what I am doing, my friend. Loading up while everything is down. Buy when others are fearful. And you can gladly sell as others are greedy. It is a very nice strategy that I wish people actually did. You know, everybody says, though, oh yeah, I'm going to buy low and sell high. That's how you make money. You buy low and sell high. Dude, everybody sells low and they buy high. It's crazy. And the fear makes them do it. Hey, I'm so sorry. I didn't understand last Friday's conversation. How can XRP not go up since it is deflationary, and if every bank uses it, still limited supply? Okay. Well, XRP, okay. So I don't know where the disconnect is between my thought process and your thought process. I definitely think that XRP can go up, right? I don't want you to think that I don't think that XRP can go up. I definitely believe that it can go up. But XRP, okay, is not essentially, it's not an investment in Ripple. So you don't have like any ownership in Ripple with it. XRP is simply the utility. It's all that it is. And yes, some people buy XRP and hold XRP because they believe in its price appreciation potential, whether that be based on its deflationary nature or they think that the company is going to grow and so on. But a lot of people out there, and I don't know where they get this idea, right? And this is the way that I view it. A lot of people out there think that XRP is going to be bought and held by every major institution, every major government, every whale, and every investor across the globe. And I think we had a long conversation about if they denominated their currency in XRP, meaning they buy it with the intention of holding it and transacting in it, 100% agree, right? 100% agree. XRP's potential is unlimited. It can go up forever. And, it really could be trading at $10,000 a coin because there's going to be no need for fiat at that point. But if XRP is used for what it was created for, simply a means of transfer, simply sending XRP from one institution to another, one person to another, one country to another, what would happen in that process is you go out, you buy, $100 worth of XRP, you send $100 worth of XRP, and your friend cashes out $100 worth of XRP. In that situation, every single buy is immediately erased by a sell. So the only net benefit is that deflationary process. And in that scenario, it does not matter if XRP is trading at $100 per coin and you go out, you buy one of them and you transfer one of them and he sells one of them, or if XRP is trading at 10 cents a coin and you go out and buy 1,000 of them and you transfer 1,000 of them and your friend sells 1,000 of them. So XRP's price for its utility matters nothing, right? Does not matter. So it all depends on what you believe is going to happen with XRP in terms of people buying and holding, okay? Or people denominating valuations in XRP instead of fiat. It makes perfect sense in my brain, right? But that doesn't mean that it's going to make perfect sense in your brain. So please, if I'm explaining that in a way that you still don't understand, I will try my best to explain it in a way or ask a specific question on it that might clear it up a little bit more. Because it makes perfect sense to me, just that doesn't mean that it's going to make perfect sense to you. And that's the way that I view it. I know that that's contrary to the way a lot of people believe because, dude, I see videos on TikTok, I see videos on YouTube. Everybody says that XRP is going to 10 grand a coin, and it's even crazier than AMC was. So with these price predictions and stuff. Let's see. Choo-choo. No money counter. Yes. I don't need that cash, man. I got it up there. Oh, today's April Fool's. Oh, it's not. Tomorrow is. Where the heck are you at? It's already tomorrow. Today's the 31st, man. Today's the 31st. This dude's living in the future. If today's not the 31st, my calendar April fooled me. That's a pretty good one. Let's see. Only invest what you're willing to lose. You go, Gen G. Absolutely, man. I don't have my life savings. I only risk what I can afford to lose. Yeah, Gen G has nothing to worry about then. Literally nothing to worry about. There's no fear in that sense. Where's Tim been? Probably having lunch with Rosie O'Donnell in Ireland. Yeah, I have no idea where Tim's been. He was here for like one day, last week, 2 weeks ago? And we have not seen Tim since. I don't know. Maybe it's against, maybe his schedule doesn't align with what we're doing. I'm pretty sure it's 4:20, 5:20 in Ireland right now. I don't know if Tim can make it. Galileo FX. I have not, Moji. What is Galileo FX? Clay, saw your BDAG video. Nice one, mate. Boom, baby. Alien head. Thank you. Yeah, and you know what? One of the things about BlockDAG, too, because I don't look at it every single day, it is nice to see these updates and everything. But, dude, and you guys know my thoughts on BlockDAG as well, right? I think there's going to be a heavy sell-off on launch. I think a lot of people are going to sell because they're already sitting on 5-10x gains throughout the pre-sale. So I think you're going to see some profit taking, and I think you can. Now, the nice thing is, right, you get a 400% bonus if you buy BlockDAG right now. So there's a lot that you're going to be able to do to kind of offset everything. So if you go out there and you buy 20,000 BlockDAG for whatever it costs, and you're already sitting on 5x the amount that you would have originally gotten. Okay, if it drops 90% after launch, you're essentially sitting on break even. So there's a lot that goes into that, which is fine. But I think the price is going to come back down. I don't think it's going to sit at 5 cents after the launch. I think people sell off and take their profit. But, dude, even if it does come back down, and I don't know where it's going to settle, there's a lot of people mining cryptocurrency with BlockDAG right now on the X1 miner app. It's an app that you can download on your phone, and I don't know how it works. I didn't download it, but at the current prices, you earn about 50 cents per day in BlockDAG tokens. I believe it's $1 per day that you earn in BlockDAG tokens on the launch price of 5 cents per token. You earn 20 tokens per day. I know it sounds crazy that 50 cents $1 is a lot of money to some people, but it's a lot of money to some people. And it's very cool that you can scroll through the map. They got a globe up, and you can scroll through the map to see where people have downloaded and where people are running the BlockDAG X1 miner app, and it's all over the world, right? So sure, it doesn't make sense for a lot of people here to make 5, 10, 50 cents a day, especially if I don't know how the app works, but like if you got to drain your battery, or if you've got to take up time or leave the app open or something like that, it might not make sense for 10, 15, 20 cents a day. But dude, if that's 5% of your income, 10% of your income, like a lot of people see in some of these other countries, dude, if you can get a 10% raise by downloading a stupid app, yeah, you better believe that people are going to download that, they're going to use it, and it's going to make the blockchain extremely diversified and decentralized, which makes for a very good blockchain. Let's see. Clay, from my understanding, if I were to send money from Japan to Brazil, it would first have to use US banks to convert the money. XRP eliminates that process, which makes everyone need it, right? You don't need to hold it, though, Giovanni. You don't need to hold it. If I wanted to send money from here to Brazil, I can do it. Yes, you do need a bank in order to do it. You do need a bank, no matter what country you're sending to and from. The difference is, right, what you're eliminating in the need for these banks is essentially the transfer, the transfer process. You're replacing that with a transfer process in XRP. Yes, you buy the XRP on the open market. You don't need to hold it. You buy the XRP on the open market. XRP themselves, Ripple themselves, are the holders of the XRP. You as a bank, or you as the person transferring the money, you are simply the user. Ripple holds it. They already hold it. Ripple holds it. You go buy it. Sure, there might be a slight increase in price when you go buy it. You transfer it to me in a different country, and I immediately go sell it for my fiat currency, right back to Ripple. So every single purchase that takes place is offset by a sell. That's the utility of it. Now, sure, you can. There will be a lot of institutions. There will be a lot of people that believe, okay, as utility increases, as usage increases, the value should increase as well. And they will be buying it and holding it to obtain that appreciation in its price. But the appreciation in its price is not necessary for its utility. You can transfer Ripple at any price that you want to transfer Ripple, or XRP at any price that you want to transfer XRP at. It works the same if it's $100 a coin or if it's 10 cents a coin. No more Jameson for me. Bad night. Good, man. Water, lemonade, iced tea, all that good stuff. Hello, all. Can't chat, only listening. But also, calling out whoever said today was April Fool's Day. It's not. I would know. If you know, you know. Also, April Fool's used to be in January. True story. I don't know if that's a true story or not, or if you get me, but yes, Chris, if anybody doesn't know, tomorrow is Chris's birthday. Chris, man, make sure you come back tomorrow in the live stream so we can sing you happy birthday. And if you miss it for some reason, make sure to come back the following day so we can sing happy birthday to you. Chris would know if it's April 1st today. He's been looking to this forever. Trump fairly launched U.S. Bitcoin mining. But yeah. So, Jason, I didn't see that news this morning, but my dad was telling me a little bit about that. So, guys, everybody right now is buying Bitcoin. I believe he was also telling me that Marathon Digital, the crypto mining or the Bitcoin mining company, they're issuing or already issued $2 billion in new shares. I hate these share offerings, right? But they issued $2 billion or are going to issue $2 billion to buy Bitcoin. GameStop is buying Bitcoin. All of these companies are buying Bitcoin. And look, they might be wrong, right? They might be wrong. But they're not afraid right now. They are looking at these prices as opportune moments to purchase Bitcoin. Now, they're focused on Bitcoin. Sure, I get it. And you could be focused on altcoins if you want some of the larger, gains out there. But they are not afraid to buy right now. It might go lower, like Gen G said, right? It might go a little lower. I agree. It could go lower. But if you believe that this is really going to turn into an industry, you've got to ignore the fear. Whales, institutions, and some retail investors are ignoring the fear. Others are so dang scared they don't know how to talk anymore. It's nuts, dude. It really is. XRP is gonna rock it. I hope it does, Moji. I don't have a ton. I do have XRP. I don't have a ton of it, but no, my dad's got a good amount, so I do hope that it goes up. And I know some of you guys in here have good amounts as well, so I do hope that it goes up. It's funny, man. I look at some of these coins and I'm like, dang it, dude. I wish I owned my entire life savings in that coin. It's up 300% today. It's true, man. But if I don't own it, it's not like I'm sitting there thinking, man, I hate everybody who owns it. They did very well today, and I'm sitting on a 5% gain while they're sitting on a 500% gain. No, absolutely not, man. I want to make money, yes, but I want you guys to make as much money or more as well. It doesn't matter. I want everybody to be in a very good position. Clearly, those banks need to buy XRP worldwide, which would make XRP more scarce, right? Banks aren't going to buy just one XRP. That's what makes it so confusing. No, you are Yeah, so I think when I keep saying it doesn't matter if XRP is at 100 XRP, you are correct. They're not going to buy one XRP. If a bank is going to transfer money, they're going to go out there and they're going to buy 10 million XRP, right? They're going to transfer that 10 million XRP from Bank A to Bank B. But Bank B is going to sell 10 million XRP for Japanese yen and then give the Japanese yen to their client. They're not going to hold that 10 million XRP. They're not going to sit there and say, oh yeah, we got 10 million XRP now. We're going to hold on to this, and then we're going to go out there and just give our client $10 million worth of yen, right? They're not going to do that. So it is simply the means of transfer. If banks are doing it, yes, worldwide, there will be less XRP in existence because of the deflationary process of it. That should make it go up in value. You're absolutely right there. It's not deflationary enough, but it is deflationary. Banks are not going to buy just one XRP. Bank's going to go out, they're going to buy 10 million XRP. They're going to send Bank B 10 million XRP, and Bank B is going to sell 10 million XRP and give their client the yen that they wanted. Which is why I say, if we still denominate in the fiat currency, it's an immediate buy it's a buy followed by an immediate sell. If they no longer care about the fiat, then XRP, goes to $10,000 a coin or whatever. If they simply hold the XRP, if they say, okay, XRP, well, I'm gonna buy 10 million XRP. I'm gonna send you 10 million XRP, and you're gonna hold 10 million XRP because that's what has value now, not your yen. Your yen's worthless. Your dollar's worthless. In that situation, yeah, XRP is 10 grand a coin. Let's see. I don't believe banks are going to have their own stable coins because they would have it done by now. Bank of America, Chase, ECT use XRP. Even the banks in Dubai use XRP. Yeah. Waiting for the dump to 70,000. Caleb. Oh. I mean, me too, kind of. If it does dump off that low, I'm buying a lot, but I'm not sitting here hoping for that dump, right? I'm not sitting here hoping for a dump off in any crypto. I'm sitting here hoping for some gains. I'm invested, I'm ready to go, but I also have a lot of USDT that I can still buy with. So if it goes down, I'm buying. If it goes up, I'm very happy. And some of the stuff I'm holding forever, don't even care if it goes up to $1 million. Just gonna hold it forever and see what happens with it. A lot of the other stuff, meme coins and so on, goodbye to you, my friend. As soon as it rips up, I'm gonna be taking profits, man, and we'll be good there. Okay, bros, gotta run. On my way to San Francisco. Stay positive, stay hydrated, stay healthy. Remember, listen to the signals, not the noise. Alien Head. This dude is a world traveler, man. On his way to San Francisco. Crazy. You at the airport already, or are you getting ready to go to the airport to go to San Francisco? Buy the dip Monday. And we'll also be followed up with a buy the dip Tuesday, buy the dip Wednesday, buy the dip Thursday, buy the dip Friday. Never ends, man. I'm all in 850 million SHIB and 5,000 XRP. Swamp, how do you feel about that? I own a good amount of Shiba Inu Coin. I own a okay amount of XRP. I could do better on XRP. I just completely admit it. But now, when you say all in, right? I mean, are you saying that's your portfolio, or are you saying dude, that's all the money that you have in that's your entire life savings, and it is in SHIB and XRP right now? Because in the one situation, okay, if that's your portfolio, dude, great. Those are the two coins that you believe in. You're invested in them, and you're ready to go. If it's your entire savings, you may be a little bit more nervous. But if you're not, great. You know you better than I do. Just trying to get a feel for how some people think, because I feel like everybody in here is a lot more chill and a lot better prepared than the overall sample. the overall sample seems so stinking scared right now that it doesn't make sense. Like, if the 31 of us were the only ones investing in crypto, I promise you, dude, I swear it would be going up so stinking high that it wouldn't even be funny. We'd all be millionaires. So, how you feeling about that? Safe travels, alien head. Absolutely. Clay. April, for Clay, 1. April was once January. Peeps still called it January. We're called... What now? April was once January. Peeps still called it January, and we're April Fools. Since we'd eventually come up on trillionaires, is crypto just a way to keep currency going? These are two completely different subjects. Now I understand. I did not know that, Chris. That's actually incredible. If that's a story behind April Fools, I did not know if that's the story behind it. But if it is, that is very cool. This could also be a joke from Chris that he's gonna call us all fools for his April Fool's Day prank. So I do not know. You guys can Google that or ask Rock or whatever you want to do. Figure out that if that's right. Okay, since we would eventually come up on trillionaires, is crypto just a way to keep the currency going? You know what, Chris? That's kind of a fascinating way to look at it. It very well could be. Okay? Now, I'm trying to wrap my head around this, and it might be impossible. But think about it for a second. You know, we got away from gold. We got away from a gold standard. And this is just U.S. If you go back throughout history, you can see a lot of these people. In the Mongolians, I believe it was. I was reading about the Mongolians last week, maybe. They were one of the first, I guess, societies or civilizations to transfer to paper money. What they did, they had, their gold, silver, bronze coins or whatever they were made out of, their metal coins. And I don't know if they were running out of metal or what the idea was, but they issued paper money. And they went around and they confiscated everybody's precious metals in the form of coins, and they replaced them with useless paper that said, your useless paper is backed by the precious metals. We're going to hold on to those for you so that you don't lose them. So then a paper standard for money came to be. Well, we had something very similar in the United States. We had a gold-backed dollar where your dollar was backed by $1 worth of gold. I don't know the true reasoning behind it all, but right now there's essentially only $10 trillion worth of gold. It's probably a little bit more. I don't know the total value now at $3,000 an ounce or whatever gold's worth, but a little above $10 trillion worth of gold in the entire world. You cannot back a dollar. You can only back that dollar up to $10 trillion. And there's clearly more than $10 trillion worth of wealth, not dollars, bills printed, but worth of wealth in the entire world. So, sure, with guys like Elon Musk and other institutions and so on, seeing this wealth creation, these businesses being created, these ideas being created, the idea is, okay, well, we can't back it by gold. We can't back value necessarily by a piece of paper that is just a piece of paper. That's a very good idea. The idea of crypto is essentially unlimited. You don't need to print it, okay? You don't need to do anything, but you do need to mine it, right? You do need the electricity necessary, and you do need the computing power necessary to essentially back that digital currency. If essentially that power is unlimited, yeah, that's a great way to look at it, Chris. It is. Crypto is a way of keeping currency going. if the computing power is limitless. Now, something may come along, and I believe the computing power is a lot more clear. I believe that the decentralization is of value. I believe that we could justify trillion-dollar valuations rather easily with cryptocurrency. But I don't know where that limit is, right? I don't know where that limit taps out. How much can truly be mined? And the idea, as much as I understand about cryptocurrency mining, is the idea is it is limitless, right? We can go out there and we could justify an unlimited amount of transactions. We could justify an unlimited amount of value in crypto, but it slows down based on total transactions per second and all of that. It slows down the more transactions that outweigh the miners. You could support Bitcoin, if there's two guys, one guy technically, but then it's centralized. But you could support Bitcoin with 2-3 guys across the entire world, or any blockchain for that matter. If 2-3 guys have their computer running, it's decentralized. If one guy has it running, he can still run it, but it's centralized at that point. But you cannot destroy the network as long as a couple guys are out there. It's just going to take a very long time to make sure these transactions go back and forth. So, yeah, that's interesting, Chris. Try to wrap my head around it. I don't know if I necessarily can. Let's see. I'm currently sad. That's all I'm willing to invest. Good. Swamp, hopefully things go up, man. You're not going to be sad if prices go higher, Swamp. And sorry, I was on a rant for a while on the one Chris had there. I don't believe XRP will go to 10,000, but I do believe it can get to $100 someday. I could see it hit a $5 trillion valuation if banks, ETF, SWIFT, ECT happens. What's your opinion on that? Yeah, I mean, me personally, I don't think that XRP is going to outpace Bitcoin. So if you're cool with saying Bitcoin is going to go to 10 trillion and, XRP is at 5 trillion, I don't have a problem with that at all. I mean, dude, I believe, right? I believe that XRP could go to $20,000 a coin if they kill the supply. That's why XRP is kind of so dangerous, in my opinion. It does not matter if XRP is trading at a penny or at $10 trillion a coin, right? If you want to give it a $10 trillion valuation, the price of XRP does not matter. The utility is what matters. And XRP has the exact same utility no matter what the price is. So it could get there if they just blow the supply. Obviously, they're not going to blow the supply. So, yeah, dude, I don't think $100 is that far off. But to be dead serious, I don't think that Ripple cares, and I don't think that utility cares of what the actual price is. Just arrived at the airport on my way to San Francisco. Emoji cheer, my friends. Alien head. Good deal, man. You got a long flight? Nice, easy flight? I don't know where you're coming from, going to, all that stuff. If you're going New York to San Francisco, what is that, like a 5.5, 6 hour flight? Chrissy's working our brains, Jason. I actually got that from Clay last week. We've talked about the amount of gold, but last week he said something about a $22 trillion cap, and that got me thinking. Yeah, dude. So there is a cap, right, on how much gold can be mined based on the current valuation and all of that. And they either have to make gold, of limitless value. But yeah, dude, you're right. And it's very difficult to wrap your mind around, right? Because a lot of people always try to give money an actual valuation. And you cannot do that. Money is just trust. That's all that money is. The entire financial system teeters on trust. If you lose that trust, you lose the entire monetary system. Because, dude, what really has value? You can't, if you need to eat, you're not going to care if you've got a shiny gold coin. You need food, dude. So, what does that shiny gold coin really have any value? No. It's just what people are willing to pay for it. And people are willing to pay a lot of money, $3,000+ for an ounce of gold right now. But people trade that $3,000 ounce of gold for a chicken. Chicken's got value. You know, you can eat it. You can sustain your life with it. The paper in your pocket, the only value it's going to have is if you get cold, you can burn it. You know, there's no intrinsic value really in any of this stuff. And it all teeters on trust. I trust you that that ounce of gold is worth $3,000. I trust you that that piece of paper, you're going to give me something that I believe is worth $1 for that dollar. The entire financial system teeters on trust and trust alone. So life is going by too fast. It is going by pretty fast, isn't it? Thoughts on crypto prices being pushed down until countries can accumulate their reserves? Yeah, swamp. So I do think that that is part of the manipulation, right? Now, when I say manipulation, I don't mean a guy out there, you know, pressing a down arrow and an up arrow and a down arrow and an up arrow and directly controlling the price. I do believe that these institutions, these countries, these businesses, these whales want to accumulate more because they believe this industry is going to grow by trillions of dollars over the next decade or so. And they're going to make trillions of dollars, right? Everybody wants to make trillions of dollars. So they are trying to accumulate as much as possible. Now, this is political, okay? But I believe that the narrative right now isn't necessarily being pushed so that people can accumulate more crypto. I believe the narrative being pushed right now is driving prices down because they do not like the current administration's, I guess, goals or the current administration's way of going about things. They, for some reason, do not want the government to be more efficient, and they do not want Elon Musk cutting a lot of the fat out of the government. They do not want the corruption to be exposed. They do not want to raise additional funds by creating tariffs on other countries. And they're running around. Look, I don't know, and I'll admit, okay, I think it's going to be just fine. I think it's going to work out, but I don't know if it will. And with that being said, I don't think it's a bad idea to try, because I believe that the current route we're on, what we've been doing, has driven us so far into debt that we should have failed. We should have failed. We should have filed bankruptcy, and nobody should loan us a dime at the current rate because they know for a fact we have no intentions of ever paying it off, right? Zero intentions whatsoever of ever paying our debt off. You know, we're just going to accumulate more debt and pay our debt with debt. If it were a person, if it were a business, if it were anybody else on the planet other than the United States government, we would have gone bankrupt. Nobody would lend us any money. But here we are, the United States. We've dug ourselves into a hole that we know we'll never get out of. So I think that something has to change. I just don't think that the media, I don't think that the propaganda, I don't think that they want it to change. And therefore, we're getting so much hatred, so much fear, so much, negativity that's driving prices down. So I think the intentions behind the manipulation are different than simply accumulation right now. I think that they're trying to, destroy ideas and destroy the administration, right? I think that's what's going on. When the date moved to January 1st, some people continued to celebrate it in late March and became a good-natured targets for pranks and were called April Fools. When what date moved to January 1st? The new year? What date got moved to January 1st? Did we move like New Year's to January 1st or something? What got moved? Do I have to celebrate April? Do I have to celebrate the New Year in April now? Oh, man. Because I'll do it. I'll celebrate it in April. Ever saved the goals? I have not seen the audit on Fort Knox yet, man. I have not seen the audit on Fort Knox yet. Think XRP has a bright future? Yeah, Joseph, me too, man. I do. I think the entire crypto world's got a bright future, though. I'm optimistic. Trump Media will be first listing for New York Stock Exchange, Texas Outpost. Very good, Jason. That's got to be a good thing, right? I think Bitcoin will still be the highest priced crypto, but I think gold will skyrocket in price once everyone really starts investing in Bitcoin. Yeah, it very well could, Giovanni. I still think that Bitcoin is going to remain number one, too. Hence, the golden egg. Oh, Trump going to replace gold standard with Bitcoin. Ooh. That would be very interesting, Moji. That would be very interesting. To back your dollar with a hypothetical value of Bitcoin. Huh. Which could theoretically go up forever. Man. And if nobody wants it, what's the difference? It doesn't change the actual value of the dollar. It doesn't change the actual value of the dollar at all, because people still will trust that $1 is worth $1. Yeah, that's interesting. That'll be giving more hypothetical value to Bitcoin than it would the dollar. Corruption is crazy in the world overall. It is, man. There's a lot of corrupt people out there. Media's full of it. How could you not want to balance the budget? Joseph, the only way that I think that you could not want to balance the budget is if you thought you were going to get in trouble, right? Or if you thought your reign was going to end. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to not want to balance the budget. I don't think there's a single person in here that would not want to be responsible. Now, if I was wasting a ton of your money, but I was just getting a ton of your money, right? If I charged you in taxes, and between the 38 of you, I was charging you guys $1,000 a month or whatever, and I was making $38,000. And I said, I promise I'm going to give that money to a local school. I gave that local school $38,000. But then the 38 teachers there were required to give me $500 a piece if they wanted to have their jobs, and I got the $500 kickback. Dude, all of a sudden I'm walking away with $19,000 a month off your guys' taxes. I don't care what I spend it on. And I don't want you to uncover that. So I'm going to get mad if you come in there and cut my $38,000 a month funding. So there's got to be an illegitimate reason for people getting upset about wanting efficiency and wanting to do right. There's got to be. I cannot understand. I cannot believe that people are that dumb. I can't believe that they're that dumb. There's got to be a bad reason for it. It's like, if you're talking to a kid or something, you're trying to uncover a crime. No, dude, I'm not gonna tell you. Don't go through my journal. You're gonna see my inner thoughts in there. You're gonna expose something that I don't want exposed. You can't go through my journal. Yeah. I think the government should run on a blockchain so we can expose everything that goes on there. Let's see. Will you do a live stream when you sell your SHIB? Well, no. Swamp, I will have no problem telling you guys when I sell my SHIB. But I don't make and I've never done it. If I make a trade, and it's kind of rare, if I make a trade during a live stream, I'll do it on my phone. I'll show you guys, or tell you guys, I guess, that I'm making a trade. But in terms of actual numbers, I don't tell you if I'm buying $5 worth of Shiba Inu coin, and that's a lot to me, or if I'm buying $50,000 worth of Shiba Inu coin, and that's a lot to me. So I try to stay away from actual numbers and you know, demonstrating that, because I truly do want you guys to be comfortable, whether you are investing $5 in SHIB or you're investing 50,000 in SHIB. I don't want to have that level of influence over you that you think, oh crap, dude, Clay's only got $5 worth of Shiba Inu coin. I should have a lot less than I have. Or holy smokes, man, I was stretching it, investing 50 bucks in SHIB, and Clay's got 50 grand in SHIB. I need to go, you know, use my entire paycheck to buy more. But dude, I have no problem. I'll no problem telling you guys, yeah, I just sold all my Shiba Inu coin, or I just heavily shaved off, and now I'm only sitting on about 10% of the SHIB that I had before. I don't mind that part, but I'm not gonna like pull up my wallet and show you guys numbers and all that. French calendar way back when. Well, French, man. Clay, what you just said makes the most sense that I've heard about with the market being down. Jeffrey, but that's me trying to rationalize it to myself, right? That's me. I don't have any sort of like insight that other people don't have. I'm just trying to rationalize it to myself, and that's what I've come up with, man. It's the only thing that makes sense to me right now. I think XRP could compete with Ethereum for the second highest. No, yeah, Joseph, I agree with that. XRP was competing with Ethereum way back when. Back in, crap, I don't know if it was 2017 or when, man. But when XRP was ripping up, yeah, it was, when Ripple was ripping up like that, it was, you know, bouncing back and forth in second. They don't want to waste and abuse to stop in the budget because they want the gravy train to go on forever. Yeah. I mean, technically it could go on forever, right? They can continue to rob us forever, and they can continue to print more money forever, and they can continue to do that because they never intend on paying the debt down. But it doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. You can't do it. Look at the president's salary, then look at how much the past presidential fans are worth. Then tell me things still add up. Yeah, doesn't the president make like $400,000 or $500,000 a year, and they're all worth tens or hundreds of millions of dollars? Clay's diary. Now that's a scary read. Yes, it is. Have an awesome day, Pudgy. You as well, man. Thank you very much for being in here. See ya, Poodle. We still have 4 minutes. That we do. They don't care who it hurts. They do not, Jeffrey. And that's the sad thing, too, with a lot of these guys that make it to the top, quote-unquote. Dude, they're the lowest of the low. And they make it to the top because they don't care who they hurt. They don't care who they step on. They don't care who they destroy. And a lot of the times, it's not just that they don't care. They intentionally set out and seek out to do it. And that's not the people that should be at the top, man. It's not the people who should be in charge. Mega payments. I think those coins could have bright futures. I don't know which ones he said. XRP is not compete with Ethereum, bro. XRP was the same price in 2017. Yeah, XRP ripped up in 2017 though. XRP falls when Ethereum starts to pump. XRP will be passed by Pepe, SHIB, Doge, Solana. Ooh. Hey, add Trump in there too, because I got a lot of Trump, man. Take Trump coin to make sure it stays top 3 meme coins, please. More people should have heard you explaining Doge's work, Clay. People who are here probably already understand what's going on. Yeah, more. No, I agree. People in here seem to have a lot of sense, man. Smiley face, or whatever I should say your name is. I agree, right? I feel like I'm preaching to the choir in here. You guys already know this stuff, which... Okay, so it's a lot easier to say when you already know it. And a lot of you guys already understand it better. But, yeah, man. The sad thing is, I don't know if those other people care or want to understand. Have 2 more pumps before the bear market, or one next month, and after summer, then it's over. I can't necessarily disagree, though, Mango. I can't disagree with that, because that lines up with 2021. I mean, you know, it's impossible to say with any certainty, right? Nobody knows what's going to happen. But I don't disagree with you because it does follow 2021's sort of pattern. Debt is such a crisis that within 5 to 7 years, 50% of all of the government revenue will be going to just financing the interest on that debt. Yeah, Joseph, it's like the hole's too big, man. The hole's way too big. You're just listening and working. I'm the guy behind the mini blinds. I like it, DD214. Stay creepy, my friend. I bet 2017 XRP was at 340. Yes, it was, man. Yes, it was. Pay no attention to DD214 then. Oh, that's a curtain. Yes, it is. A lot of great topics, bros. Till the next time. Guys, it is 1 o'clock. And wait, this live did go very fast. It was a good conversation. I appreciate everybody for being in here. And have a good rest of your day. I got plenty of videos to record, so I'm going to go record all those videos. I do hope that each and every one of you have the best day ever. I know it's a Monday, so start the week off right by getting your name in the chat so we can do these shout-outs. We got a shout-out to Moji. See you later, man. Pudgy, if you're still in here, have a great one. DD214. Jeffrey, have a great one. Joseph, Moji, Mango. Smiley, we got Mango. Gorilla, Joseph, DD214, Mango, Moji, DD214, Jason, Moji, Joseph, Smiley. Good day to you as well, man. We got Gorilla, Genji, Old Rounder, Jeffrey, Genji. All of you guys. You know what time it is. You want to say it with me? Say it with me. Till the next time, hope to each and every one of you have an awesome day.